What's up guys, Nate Diaz versus Anthony Pettis was a phenomenal fight, with both fighters fighting their hearts out. To borrow a phrase from Joe Rogan, this was a phone booth war and was very entertaining to watch. And I want to thank both the fighters for putting on a great show for all of us. But man, I think Nate Diaz just had his best performance and looked amazing. He completely dominated Pettis and made a statement to everyone who was questioning his ability to deal with the leg kicks. I mean, Diaz looked extremely well-rounded in that fight. Unlike his other fights, Diaz used a variety of weapons from his trademark pressure, high volume of strikes, to well-timed knees, clinch, dirty boxing and even takedowns. This was a different Nate Diaz who looked a lot more calculated, which is a lot more scary. I mean, we all knew the game plan was going to be to pressure Pettis from the start and exhaust him. But Nate did a fantastic job to stay on Pettis constantly and very importantly push him against the cage with impressive clinch work to smother Pettis and make him waste energy and at the same time avoid those leg kicks. Diaz also checked one of Pettis' leg kicks, which really hurt Pettis as his ankle swelled up from colliding with Nate's shin and slowed Pettis down even more. But what I was slightly shocked by, but very impressed with, was that Nate actually initiated a couple of takedowns that were successful and helped him shut down Pettis' game. I don't think Pettis expected this, which made it even more effective. In the clinch, Diaz used his dirty boxing to catch Pettis with some really good shots, but also some very well-timed knees. These definitely hurt Pettis and he did go down once. These were clean and damaging strikes that stunned Pettis and exhausted him. Now in the first round, Pettis did have some success and caught Diaz on the way in a couple of times with some hard shots that stunned Diaz. But Nate is just so durable that as always he was just able to keep coming through them, keep coming forward and just kept up that zombie-like pressure. I think those shots might have been the reason why Diaz actually attempted the takedown, as Pettis was doing a good job to stay away from Nate. The takedown helped Nate to burn out Pettis and test his grappling skills, which I think it's safe to say that Pettis passed. But that takedown in the first round was very important because it made Pettis more cautious for the rest of the fight and helped Nate to have more success. But really, I think it was all the pressure. Pettis just did not have enough in the gas tank to keep away from Nate and also strike with him. I was surprised Pettis did not attempt any takedowns of his own, but I think he was just overwhelmed by Nate's pace, pressure and with his ability to just absorb some really hard shots and just keep coming forward. I think in that fight what Diaz showed was that he learned from his previous fights and made important adjustments to his game, especially in the stand-up department. We could see from the first round that Diaz kept moving between an orthodox and a southpaw stance to not give Pettis any opportunities to throw leg kicks. But because of these adjustments, I think Nate also tired himself out quicker, and it looked like he did gas himself out by the third round, which I've never seen from the Diaz brothers. But it's understandable as Nate was being more dynamic by throwing in some takedowns, constantly switching his stance from orthodox to southpaw and also pressuring Pettis non-stop given it was only a 3-round fight. But this was a truly calculated performance and was a very impressive one, and I'm happy to see that Nate is evolving and still staying on top of his game. And now, in terms of what's next for Diaz. He called out Jorge Masvidal after the fight, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is, for the OG, the realest gangster world title. What an amazing fight that's going to be. The way Nate and Pettis got this fight done and not the UFC, I think we're going to see something similar here, where Masvidal has already agreed to this fight beforehand, and with Nate calling him out, people, we've got a barn burner of a fight. And I'm super excited for this fight. But yeah, I think it's safe to say that the whole MMA community is happy for Nate to be back and for the real to be back. Thanks again to Anthony Pettis and Nate Diaz for that amazing fight. And if you liked the fight, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel as it helps me to grow and your help is truly appreciated.